Hi, folks. I'm finally here. I was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock, but we're sort of running on mark time, and mark time tends to run a little bit after actual time. Um, I've just had some issues today. Issues. Hi, Kelly. It's cold. It's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold outside. Hi, music lover. Let me get this on my phone here so I can stay up with the comments being shared. It's cold. It was, hey, Jackie. Hi, Lacey. It was, I think, minus 11 degrees this morning. Here in Indianapolis, which begs the question, what the hell am I doing here when I could be over in South Carolina? Oh, so Jackie asked how my daughter is. I was debating whether or not to talk very much about it. 10 below there with Sarah. Yeah, I'm listening to a book now about I don't need help, and it's about bipolar disease and schizophrenia. I'm not sick and I don't need help, it's called. And as I listened to it on the way home, I got a little bit sad because it talks about, hi Soren, I'm dragging my wagon. I don't know about y'all, and I'm freezing. We just bought this condo and it's drafty. Renda is adding plastic to the windows to cut down on the drafts until we can take more permanent measures. So, yeah. So my daughter has been in the hospital for um, freezing as well. Vermont, minus 30. Oh my God. Um, so she's been in the hospital for, I don't know, 10 days or so, and she really hasn't gotten better. And every other time that she's been in the hospital, she has always gotten better within a week, and they're medicating her, but not it's just not helping. So we're fearing that there's been some brain damage done. So that's an update. But she's safe and she's not wandering the streets in below zero weather. So that's good. So I actually have two heaters going to try to stay warm here. Um, so yeah, blessings for 2018. Yeah, so continue to pray for my daughter, because it just feels like I've lost her. She isn't. She's not there. She's there, but she's not there, and she's always come back. So, enough about me. Um, I want to start. Yes, thank you for your prayers. Um, I want to start by showing you this little sign I got. This I got from my other daughter. Um, oh, we got a question. Question. I'll come back to this and answer the question. Teresa, peace, grace. Yesterday you mentioned that if you're attracted to a narcissist, if you were raised by one, that the best we can hope for is a narcissist that is in recovery, but Renda is not a narcissist or cluster B. That's a really good question, Teresa. Um, so I'm not saying that uh, you're you're um, you're stuck in relationship hell forever and ever and ever. Um, this was after about 10 years of therapy and relationship with borderlines, vicious, nasty, hurtful borderlines. So, um, yeah, Renda, um, she's definitely not a cluster B, and she's an empath. But uh, but she's not. You can't get super 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 healthy in a short amount of time, and it wasn't too long ago that uh, she was uh, you know in a really broken uh, several broken marriages. So and has a horrific childhood story. So hi Jilligan. So it's the power of recovery. Um, we actually got triggered really bad. We got all the way through the holidays until my family's Christmas, and we had a really huge issue come up. But we went to a local imago therapist, and we mirrored each other back and forth and cleaned it right up. We were warm and fuzzy on the way home after struggling. So you're going to pick somebody equally as healthy as you. That's one truth. The other truth is sometimes you get involved with somebody who's an anti-type. Blessings to you, Jilligan, which is the opposite. And sometimes it's not a black and white world. It's not like there are the narcissists and there are the good guys. That's not really how it is. Um, hey, Lance. Um, I I have a big heart and a lot of empathy, but I have some narcissistic traits, and Renda has a heart of gold. And what I've realized is ever since I've been married to her, my life keeps getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. When you're in relationships with vampires, that's not good. That's not good. So, uh, so yeah, Renda probably has a few borderline traits, and I have a few narcissistic traits, and sometimes it gets ugly around here. And so life is hard, and marriage is hard, and you don't just get in recovery and live life happily ever after. Uh, Check out my. Have you guys ever been to a IKEA? That's like going to Disney World, man. We got a new IKEA store, and I got this orange thing. You see that little orange cabinet? Um, she calls it a gun rack. I don't have any guns. I just thought it was pretty. I got my old basketball trophies in it. Okay, where are we? IKEA, man, it's like Disney World. Its store never ended, and then you end up in a restaurant. It was so good. Yeah, IKEA. If you haven't been, it's like a super, like a major experience. Okay, maybe I should put my thing over here where I'm pointing in the right direction. Okay, Music Lover has a question. As a codependent empath recovering and staying single but dealing with toxic people like family who you live with, who would uh, who would we go for after this narcissistic abuse? Do we have to be tough? So I'm going to read that question again. As a codependent empath, recovering and staying single but dealing with toxic people like family who you live with, who would we go after, after this narcissistic abuse? Do we have to be tough? Well, it's all about recovery, and it's all about time, and it's all about um, uh, continuing to work on yourself. You can work on your family of origin issues directly with your parents, or you can use a middleman like some narcissist who sort of steps in and you know uh, plays the role of your parent. But it's all good. It all leads to healing and to unmasking that wounded little boy. So Agnes is going to IKEA tomorrow. Kelly, how do you keep yourself healthy and sane helping someone who gets ill and is recuperating? It's really hard. I have a hard time keeping myself healthy and sane even when everybody's fine around me. Um, just practice a whole lot of self-care. You know, I've got one lady who was shattered, and she goes to yoga every day, and it's her lifeline, and it's sort of her salvation. So, music lover says, seems like the nicer you are, the more abuse you get. I'm finding myself getting crappy with these people. Well, that's what codependency is being too nice. And we don't want to combat being too nice with being nasty. Um, yeah, I did go to IKEA, and I didn't get the meatballs, or the meatballs like really, did I make a mistake there? The salmon looked so good, and I also got the chicken cordon bleu. It was so delicious for $4. How they sell that for $4? Okay, I'm a little scattered. Uh, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and with my first clients in the office, I was just really goofy, and I kept losing track of where I was, and they would remind me, and I was just tired. And then I had a no-show, and I got on that couch and I was out. I got a lovely nap, lovely nap. Okay. Carrio, having issues with acceptance. My parents will not listen and keep blaming me. I'm sorry. They have a fictitious image of who I am, and they say I am always angry and I am selfish. How do I accept this and move on? Man, IKEA cured my complex PTSD. I tell you what, Agnes, I was triggered when I went into the store because there's just too many people, you know. But then you find so many beautiful things, beautiful, unique, wonderful things. I sort of got over it, but I wouldn't say it was curative at all. Back to the question. Let's get off IKEA. It's hard. It's quite an experience, but let's get off of it. Sarah and Soren, I'll come back to you. Where'd my question go? Oh, music lover said the nicer she gets, the more abuse she gets. So that's what we're looking for. Is to be assertive, to be powerful. Yeah, Kelly, I couldn't get out of the IKEA. It just went on and on and on and on and on. Oh my God. But we got lots of cool, we spent all our money. A French press, double wall French press. Wow. Okay. Margaret Skelton, once You can identify a narcissist that is toxic. You have to make choices and protect yourself by distance. That is true. That is true. Soren, where did your question go? You must be down here a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Soren says, Mark, I'm a sad man. I fell down the stairs and I'm facing a huge medical bill. Words of advice. We're sorry that you fell down the stairs. That must have been horrible. Life's hard enough, and then you fall down the stairs. I guess, hi, Annie. I guess share with your community and we'll all love on you. How about that? I don't know about the huge medical bill. Soren, where do you live again? Don't you live outside the United States? Dang, y'all are coming at me with questions. Dang, we didn't have a show last week, did we? Y'all are got double the questions this week. Can Soren get assistance from the government? Oh, you're in New England. Yeah, that's out of my field of expertise, getting somebody medical help. But Soren says you have to feel your feelings until you get sick of it and then move on. We can't get off IKEA. It's like an airport. It reminded me of Disney World. Okay, here Kelly says, how do we learn to assert ourselves without going overboard? Well, Kelly, there's really no how. Everybody always wants to know how, and it's really a long-term process of your recovery where you gain your power, but if you get reactive, you're not powerful. If you get reactive, you're actually weak and not strong at all. Okay, well, maybe the hospital can help you out there, brother. And he shattered his left ring finger. Oh, man. Where is Andy? He'll be along. Okay. I'm a little tired here. Sassy little frassy. My mother treats me in accordance to her current mood. She is borderline, says she will never change, and expects me to let bygones be bygones after treating me abusively. How do I navigate this? Somebody asked a question earlier on about abusive parents. And I wish there were hows where I can just tell you how to do it and you can just do it. But the truth is, I could tell you how to do it, but that ain't going to cure your codependency. So just keep digging, man. Keep watching videos. Find a good therapist. Address your complex PTSD stuff. But we people who are healthy and who are assertive, we don't just let people walk on us, and we don't turn the other cheek. Always, sometimes we are assertive. And again, I'll quote one of my favorite quotes, and that is, truly powerful people don't explain the need for respect. They simply do not engage with people who do not give it to them. Okay, I'm gonna have a little drink of I made myself an eggnog latte. Actually, just coffee with eggnog in it. Let's not call it a latte, but lots of eggnog in it. So Mm-hmm. That's good. People treat us in accordance to how we let them treat us. Margaret says, I'm always nice, but completely aware I don't have to be mean, but I don't give to those who can't be fair and reciprocate. I am kind and will remain kind but selective. Wonderful, Margaret. That's what I should have said. That was the really smart way to deal with it. Music lover, it's hard dealing with a horrible disease and no one is there to help. I have a progressive disease and I'm so scared to pass away with no one because of this narcissistic abuse stuff. Well, music lover, sorry about your horrible progressive disease. That's terrible. And to have complex PTSD and to have a disease, that's rough, 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 rough. Kelly says, I like that, Margaret Skeleton. Margaret, are you new? Kate Nadine, can you tell your parents that you do have to explain, you do not have to explain everything to them, and you know the truth and stand by what you say and know to be the truth? Thank you, Kate Nadine. I didn't really answer Carrie Carrio's question, so you did it for me. Thank you. So, yeah, in our childhood and in our adulthood and during adolescence, the goal is to individuate, to become your own person. And, that requires being authentic and standing up to parents and being differentiated and being different. So, okay. JC, are we always going to trigger from here out? Well, JC, I've only been at this really bad shattering business since April 26th of 2015. And I still trigger. I really got triggered when I went into IKEA. Too many people and too much going on. And on the way to the IKEA store, we passed where my former fiance works. So there's that. So that was a rough triggering time. Jackie says, Mark, what you allow is what will continue. Amen to that. Jillian loves her some eggnog. Yeah, it's good in coffee. Let's just watch me drink eggnog tonight, shall we? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sharon Williams says that she has a hard time not being reactive. Eggnog ice cream. Sarah says that she founds that her triggers are diminishing. My triggers are diminishing as well. One of my triggers was bananas, and I couldn't have bananas in my house. And a couple of weeks ago, I bought bananas and brought them home, and it didn't bother me at all. So, Carrio, thanks. I'm working on it, but it's not easy. I don't understand them. I have two little kids. Why won't they have a relationship? Because they don't want a relationship with me. Okay, lots of folks here tonight. Kelly Wood, I always worry about not hurting feelings, but now I tell myself if they don't worry about my feelings, I'm not going to worry about their feelings. They don't deserve it. I feel selfish saying it. Well, um, in a perfect world that I don't live in, you could be triggered by somebody and not get reactive, but remain, assertive. But we're all working on that. Let me get back to Soren says the only way to be moral is to first be a monster. Once you are a monster, you can choose to not act like one. Anger is important to have, it protects you. Um, yeah, I got real reactive. I told you about this issue that happened with my family. Um, and but I know where it was rooted in, what wound it was rooted in, and now I'm making my amends and my apologies. So everything is um, can get better if you're dealing with people who can accept amends and apologies. Okay, so y'all are just sort of chatting to each other, which is cool. That is awesome. Talk away. Sassy little frassy, can you give some examples of assertiveness when somebody is trying to guilt trip you, manipulate you, and control you? Yeah, you just quit talking to them. If somebody's guilt tripping me and manipulating me and shaming me, I just, if I'm on the phone, I say goodbye. If I'm in their presence, I walk away. Um, I don't engage with uh, angry, reactive people. Somebody says run, Margaret says run, run, run. Just stop talking to them. That's what I said. What does Hoosier mean? Uh, it's sort of like the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's like a nickname. I don't know what it means, but that's what we are in Indiana. I don't know what Hoosier means. I was just talking about that the other day with my wife's daughter. Okay. I'm tired still. Okay, so I'm going to go back to um, a Hoosier is a cup of beer or a cabinet. Huh. And then became Hoosier. I don't know. I don't know where Hoosier came from. Uh, Little sassafrasy, thank you. It sounds easy, but it is hard when it's your parent and you're raised to always be close with them no matter what. Um, Sassy Little Frassy, let me recommend a book by the great Alice Miller, and it's called The Body Never Lies. And it's all about individuating from abusive parents and being your own person. Teresa, peace, grace. Y'all are wearing me out with these questions. Stretch break. Uh, how do you become more attracted to those that are safe people when you are pulled toward the opposite of safe? Well, here's the deal. You like who you like, dudes. You know, uh, you like who you like. Your sexuality is calibrated by the wounds of your childhood. So, um, when I was really working hard on my recovery, if I really liked somebody, I knew who they were, and that is they had to be a dangerous borderline. So I would say take it really, 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 really slow and have your eyes open and have your friends having their eyes looking over your shoulder. Also have orange juice since I'm fighting the sniffles tonight. I've been sniffling all day. Charlie Flynn. For years I wanted to stay away, but couldn't because of her temper. I'd do anything to not make her angry, is what I thought at the time, but I only realized it was her fault and not mine. Well, we're responsible to protect ourselves, and that's not anybody's responsibility. That's on us. So I needed to pick raging, borderline, abandoning, lying, cheating women because that's who my mother was, and it was sort of hardwired into me as an infant to pick somebody like that. But I've got that out of my system, thank God. Hoosier came from a bunch of drunk guys one night trying to figure out whose your beer was. Is that true? Marilyn says, I think when we heal our inner wounds, we won't be so attracted to narcissists. That is true, Marilyn. Here's the problem. How do you heal your wounds? You heal your wounds when your walls are down. How do your walls come down? By falling in love with a narcissist and getting your heart ripped out of your chest. But yeah, I am no longer attracted to monsters, and instead I'm attracted and married to a very good human being. But that's only because for the last 10 years, especially the last 2.5 years, I've gotten tons of work done as a result of the shattering and being in the relationship. But you're right, Marilyn. It's just getting there. Margaret Skelton. I've worked on me not being attracted to no one until you're clear about you. Amen. We have an MVP performance here tonight by Margaret Skelton. Chilligan. She says, I don't know if you've had time to read my email, and I've watched more Family Tree videos, and they've helped so much for my dealing with my deceased sisters. Can't thank you guys enough. Jilligan, I'm sorry. Can you resend that? I think things have been crazy. We just moved for the second time in 6 months, really the third time in 6 months. Please send that again, Jilligan, and I'll read it, I promise. What's a cabinet? The thing in the back? My wife called it a gun rack, but it's sort of like a locker room thing with just glass in it, but I liked it. Okay, I do have somebody send in a poem, so I want to read this poem. Somebody named Saul. So, okay, what else do we got here? Carrie, I went no contact with my father, relatively easy, but cannot achieve this with my mother. I take a month or so or two, and I go back and send pictures and answer the phone when she calls. So, it's tough when it's your parent. It's tough when it's your parent. Man, y'all are really chatting it up tonight. Um, there's always this feeling there is something wrong with me, considering the way my parents have always treated me. I hear you. I hear you. Y'all are really smart. Charlie says he's okay with being single and actually liking it as a moment of victory. Amen. That's awesome. A moment of victory, not being married to a monster. That's a good thing. Okay, so let me talk about this little sign I got. It says, you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice that you have left. Ain't that the truth? I never, ever, 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 ever thought that I could withstand the pain that I went through and live through it. But what you realize is as you go through this process, you look weak, but you are badass, fiercely strong, stronger than most people could ever imagine. How does a covert narcissist show their monster? Asking Margaret that. My experience has been their mask slips just a wee bit every now and again, and you can see them, see the mask slip if we pay attention. Okay. Y'all are talking back and forth. I just love that. Love it. Sarah says, they're everywhere. Ah! I think, if you've been recently shattered, it feels like there's more narcissist out there than what there maybe really is. Because you're just jumpy, you're recently shattered, and it's like being recently shot at. JC, my mom is so emotionally disengaged. She's super passive aggressive, ultimately sad, always ways of coping, very sad. Actually, literally tells me to pick men like this too. Okay. So she causes you, she wounded you and calibrated your picker of men and then blames you for picking jerks when the jerkhood came from training with from your mom. Hi, Martha. Welcome to the conversation. Margaret says, my mother made me fierce. And I would have to say, Margaret, that my mother made me fierce too. My mother and my former fiance made me fierce. Soren says, strength is the only functional path sometimes. Jackie, are you busy sneezing and coughing? JC, true, so true. I trust God through this, Mark. Thanks for the confidence boost. You're welcome. Margaret says she's hiding from a violent narcissist, but she's happy. Cool. What's tiring? I think I was tired. I don't think the show is tiring. It's energizing. I was just tired when I started. Gilligan, my narcissist mask slipped when he showed absolutely zero compassion for his dog. My opinion, people don't care of their dogs. That's a big red flag. My narcissist, that's Zara barking back there. My narcissist, what she did was she made a couple of really bad racist comments, and boom, knew who she was. And I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody. She actually used the N word, and that was it for me. So the mask just sort of slipped. Margaret, man, you are on fire tonight. And a good treatment for complex PTSD is massage. And early in my recovery process, massage was the most important treatment for me. When my massage therapist would touch my chest, I would just weep. And then my belly was just hard with anxiety, and she finally sort of worked it nice and soft. And massage is wonderful treatment for complex PTSD. Johnny Cahill, hi Mark, and thank you for your insight and wisdom. I'm 58. Hey, I'm 58. And I hit bottom with my toxic family of origin. Recovery is going well. A whole new life is within my grasp. I am the lucky one. Cool, Johnny Cahill. That's sort of how Renda and I have been feeling lately. Is we had all this horrible stuff go down, but then we were blessed with this beautiful home in South Carolina. I can't wait to get back to my hot tub. Oh my God. And then we've been blessed with this beautiful condo in Indianapolis, and we've been blessed with each other. And Family Tree is thriving, and the videos are helping people across the world. And I told my staff today, I said, you know, I'm not shattered. I'm not consumed with my recovery process. I'm in a healthy relationship with a non-vampire. And we keep moving forward, and we're really starting to thrive, you know, and be blessed. And being married to Renda has made life, every day things get better. Every day things get better. So we're getting pretty excited about 2018. Okay, so what are y'all saying? Kyra says hello. Music Lover said the overt narcissist of 20 years was a walk in the park, but the covert was almost the death of me. Yeah, I would say that my former fiance was covert in that I had no idea the evil that lay in this woman's psyche. I still am shocked. I still am flabbergasted. I'm still speechless. I still don't know how somebody could be that evil and that horrific and that shockingly selfish. And The last time I saw her, I was dropping her off at a treatment center. We never even had crosswords. You know, her covert story, my wounded little boy, was still buying in. Okay. Sassafras says self care is saving me. The staring, narcissist can stare you down with a look that is just bone chillingly cold. You know, when they take their mask off and they look at you, they can scare the shit out of you with just a look. Kelly says, Mark, after going no contact with a narcissist for the last while, I've noticed them reaching out. I think that it eats them up, this no contact. Of course it does. Of course it does. All right. Eggnog coffee time. I probably needed a partner to work with me tonight. Rinda's gonna also work on painting her office. Look what I bought for myself. I'm very metrosexual, and I just thought this was a shiny bauble, and I saw it at a store. I think it was Tuesday morning, and I just love it. Beautiful things make me happy. How can some relatives talk to you like they have no feelings, almost like they are zombies? Well, probably because emotionally they are zombies. Jessica, in my opinion, I believe that acknowledging it verbally is the first pathway to healing yourself from these types of relationships. Once verbalized, it's out there and no longer in your mind. Yep. Margaret is a chef and a massage therapist. I feed others and heal others to heal myself. Amen. Man, that'd be nice to get a meal and a massage. That's pretty awesome. You guys are talking about Reiki. I've never Reiki'd, but man, I've heard it's really wonderful. Really wonderful. Sorry, I'm so yawny tonight. Teresa, peace, grace. So happy for you guys. You are all blessing to the rest. Who are you talking to? Ren and I, or somebody else? JC, clarification. I was saying literature says I will pick men disconnected and emotionally like my mom. Literature's right. Your sexuality is calibrated by the wounds of your childhood. You ain't born with your sexuality. It's calibrated by the wounds of your childhood, which really sucks. Really, 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 really sucks. I'm getting cold. I'm going to turn my heater on here. Just give me just a second here. Got it. I'll be toasty in just a minute. Music lover, the covert was into disgusting pornography, and he withheld love for 2 years together. Yeah, man, you add narcissism with pornography, and that's an ugly thing. Margaret's feisty. She says when they stare at you, stare back. Ah, she's a badass. Soren, yep, you pick your romantic partner based on which parent who hurts you more. Soren, did you get that from one of my videos, or that's something you already knew? Jackie wants to ask a question. Question. All right, yeah, you ask a question. Jessica, I also suffer and need to find some way to shed others' bad doing to me. It's hard. Is there any suggestion? Because I've been told by mediums. You just have to get healthier, Jessica. You'll always date somebody equally as healthy as you. That's the truth. So if you just got out of a relationship with a monster, it's not like you were super duper healthy and they were a monster and that's it. Nope. You're always going to pick somebody equally as healthy as you, and you get to reenact the family of origin. Oh, Martha says, sorry, almost like getting better from the narcissistic abuse has woken other senses up in me, or I'm getting more in touch with myself and my own needs. Underneath the tears is healthy stuff like neediness. So, yes, being shattered, Martha, can be very redemptive, and it can wake you up, and it can get you in touch with your needs. Question. Which question are you talking about, Jackie? Margaret says, I got trapped by several narcs. Well, Margaret, I would say you let yourself get trapped by several narcissists. They don't have the power to trap you. We have to cooperate with them. I think my wife jumped in here. Let me look. I am way behind where you guys are at. Way behind. Carrie, what is the shattering and how long does it last? Shattering is when you get discarded by a narcissist, and it's not a breakup, but it shatters your defense mechanisms, and you're a mess. Agnes, it is strange that I'm past my PTSD. I'm doing okay. Is that strange? It's not. I'm not interested in my narc either, but I still love him. Well, I'm glad you're not being haunted by your PTSD. There's my wife. She says Reiki practitioners use a technique called palm healing, or hands-on healing through a universal energy. I think I actually did have that done one time. Kelly says, I personally am so tired of the narcissist crap. I'm getting really pushy back, and I don't want to be like that. But geez Louise, knock it off already. Geez Louise. So I also, when I was Christmas shopping, I got little stones with sayings on it, and this one says strength, and it reminds me how strong I am. And this one says healing, and it reminds me how much I've been blessed by being able to heal. This one says, this is my favorite, it says imagine. And I imagine selling my home, living in a wonderful community by the beach, marrying a really good woman, and having family tree grow, and having a real nice, comfortable place here. And then the last one I bought was magic. I wish there was quick magic that made recovery go really quickly. Soren says that was a Mark video. Put all my romantic relationships into perspective. I thought it sounded familiar there, Soren. It sounded like me. That's my main speech. Okay, Renda says, allegedly, this energy is transferred through the palms of the practitioner to the patient in order to encourage emotional or physical healing. Cool. Hands of light. My wife actually did the Reiki on me. Oh. I knew there was healing power when you would touch me, honey. Donnie says, girls have cooties, you can't let them touch you. I don't mind it when my wife touches me at all. Music Loader, Mark, I had a dream that I shot my former narcissist, but he was a demon, and I woke up and saw it. That's your unconscious at work, your unconscious doing therapy. I woke up this morning to a dream and couldn't get back to sleep. Oh, I'm sorry for being so yawny. Renda's jumping in the conversation. Good. I need some help. Oh, the book is called Hands of Light. Okay. I wonder why he said Hands of Light. Renda has the magic touch. She really did. Early in our relationship, and really we were just friends. But when I would cry, she would wipe my tears. Man, I cried a lot. Maybe Mark can talk about it. What do you guys want me to talk about? The dark triad? I have no idea what the dark triad is. No idea whatsoever at all. Margaret Skelton is a Reiki master. Margaret, is there anything you cannot do? You got massage, Reiki, chefery. You got all kinds of stuff. Rick says, Mark, how do I find myself again? I used to be so confident in who I was, and I just walk around now a shell of a person anymore. How do I find myself? I don't know who I am. Well, Brother Rick, what you're going through is a shattering, and it's a good thing to walk around not knowing who you are and being shattered. I'm trying to turn this heater off. There we go. So, it's okay that you don't know who you are. You just wake up every day and see what's next in line for your adventure, brother. And it'll all become clear. I thought I was one person back in April of 2015, but I was a whole nother person. So I just want to encourage you, Rick, to find a good therapist and know that what you're going through is normal. I had no idea who I was. You know who I was, as it turned out? At my core, I was an infant. I was an infant that was full of rage and full of hurt and full of abandonment. Soren says, I cried on the way to work sometimes. Shit just needs to fall apart. That's true. I'm glad I could be myself with y'all. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm tired, I yawn. If I'm silly, I'm silly. I have no idea what the dark triad is. Our focus on this channel isn't really cool, hot shit knowledge about narcissists. Go somewhere else. For our focus is on you doing work on yourself. That's our focus. Is it going to really help you to know all this hot shit cool stuff about narcissists? You need to know a little bit. You need to know how to spot one and how to get out of Dodge. But you don't need to be an expert on narcissism. You need to become an expert on healing your wounds, my friends. Narcissists, this is Margaret, only want amazing people. And I am single mom and have to diversify. We are amazing people. I was saying that to my wife as we finished up putting all the IKEA furniture together and being done, except for her office. She's still working on it. Need a head rubbing here. I said, we ain't normal. We got special powers as a result of our shattering and our recovery. We've got special powers and we can get a lot of stuff done. And with the help of our assistant, Jeff. Okay. Now I can't see. Oh, man. Okay. Soren says, recovery is like the phoenix. 85% of you burns away, but something beautiful and new replaces the 85%. I've been surprised, to be honest with you, when the videos I made a couple years ago when I was really raw, how now I can't get the thing to turn on. I keep turning it on, turning it off. How many times people have said that I have a beautiful heart, and I didn't know or believe that I had a beautiful heart. I was just talking from the parts that were left. Jackie's encouraging Rick, and she said, I went through what you went through many moons ago. You will come out of it eventually. It was very scary. Margaret says, remember, we are all amazing here. We made it to the end of the lessons. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice that you have left. Margaret, you're really wise and you're bringing it, man. You're bringing some good stuff to the show tonight. I wish you were here to field these questions because now my eyes are... I'm so tired. 2 nights ago, I stayed up all night because I was driving my daughter to the airport, Jordan to the airport. I had to be there at 4, so I'm a little behind on the sleepage. Rick says, I've been growing through this since April. That's when I realized I had lost myself and was able to put a name to all this craziness. Soren says Carl Jung calls it ego death. So it's hard. Going through narcissistic abuse is so hard. I can't, it's so hard. Kate Nadine says you have to find your authentic self. And that's really what I'm talking about, is finding your authentic self. Marilyn says, I agree, Margaret. They picked us because we were so amazing. Jillian says, Mark, you need some serious Z's. I do. It was staying up late with driving my daughter. And then I was up late last night watching the Alabama football game. My wife is a big Alabama fan, and now I've been watching them. And then I told the staff I'd bring them cabbage and ham. So I was up cooking cabbage and ham until the wee hours of the morning. Suzanne Kennelly, hello. She says, hey Mark, I'm almost a year from leaving my narcissist and my life is progressing. But can I stop worrying about something bad happening and the bottom falling out of my life again? Hey Suzanne. I used to every early January talk with my staff about their goals, and I would make goals, and I was under the illusion that if you have goals that you have control and that you can mold history to your liking. But I started my state of the practice address today to my staff with the words, I don't know what's going to happen this year. Here's my goals. Here's my vision. Here's our vision for Family Tree. But so, Suzanne, I don't know. Life is hard. I fear for my daughter's life every day. I told my staff, I said, any one of us could get killed by a salt truck in the parking lot after the meeting. So we don't know what's going to happen, but if you're blessed with life and you're blessed with recovery, then hold your head high and surround yourself with beautiful people like are on this show, and get better and start thriving. Start thriving. Renda and I are thriving. And the more obstacles that we overcome, the more blessed we feel. And we feel mighty blessed. Sarah has a new name called Phoenix Butterfly. Okay. Jackie says that I need to invent a NART detector. Unfortunately, from about 2005 until 2016, if that narcissist was wrapped up in a sexy female body, I sort of missed it. Not only did I miss it, I was highly attracted to it because I was wired to pick, monsters like my mother. So now I think I'm better. So can you refresh us on how to spot them? Wow. pay attention to your gut. It's like there's little bitty clues, little bitty comments. Um, uh, Man, they just put off energy. I remember the the previous woman I dated after my fiance, uh, Renda, got physically ill just when this person entered the building. So they have an energy that is dark and negative. Um, you know, Sometimes, if they're covert, you think they're the nicest person in the world. If they're overt, then they're just filled with arrogance and self, needing to be the center of attention. Siba, do you believe in Jesus? I do. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Music lover is finding her faith in God again. It's awesome. Uh, between, between covert want to cause narcissistic injuries right on the spot, mental violence, so to speak. Well, we attract somebody who brings to bear their emotional violence where we need it applied. It's really about who we attract and who we conspire with to hurt, not their power to hurt us. A chemist to make a narcissist begone. Agnes says the dark triad is nonsense, like the rest of the stuff on the topic. I've been a therapist for 30 years, and I've been dealing with this narcissistic abuse stuff for 3 years, and I've never even heard the term the dark triad. So, I don't know. Personally, what's important is doing your own work. Do your own work. Quit focusing on mystical, you know, aspects of narcissists and what they're like and how they're put together. I'm just saying. Butte says narcissists like to attack people's pure chakras. That's true. Renda's saying, Carrie, this is a wonderful helping community. Music lover meditates every night. Amen. Oh, oh, oh. And Carrie, you're not weird. I'm weird. I'm pretty weird. I am pretty weird, but y'all, you're not weird, Carrie. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, Jackie says. Don't let anyone treat you second class. Carrie says, for some reason my parents make me feel guilty, but I am not supposed to express any because I am an adult woman. I am supposed to be over everything. Carrie, hello. I want you to get a book by Alice Miller called The Body Never Lies. All y'all need to read that book. This Alice Miller is one of the most brilliant therapists who ever walked the earth. And she has amazing books that are very often quoted by therapists. The Drama of the Gifted Child, that John Bradshaw quoted so often. I am tired. last night, Brenda was putting together the IKEA furniture while I was sitting on the couch watching football. So I was tired. And she said, honey, I can't do it all. Can you do the dishes? And I put it off till 1 o'clock in the morning, but I did the dishes. But, man, I need to get some sleep, I believe. Okay. Carrie, you need to talk about it. Do not believe the bullcrap your parents are slinging. Talk on YouTube, on videos if you need to. Y'all are really giving Carrie some really good feedback. Jackie, what do you mean by appearances can be deceiving? What do you mean by that? Tell me. I am so tired I can barely read the little writing here. I'm going to have to hold the phone closer because I can't read the little writing. Jilligan, I'm wired for men who are never there, who use me and abandon me. That's why I haven't been back out there in years. You know, it's a rough system that however we're wounded as children, that's who we're going to date, fall in love with, and marry. That's a bitch. That's rough, man. That's a rough system, but you're wired the way you're wired, and I do believe that if you do enough work, you can wire yourself, better, but you're not going to rewire yourself completely. Margaret says if it feels off, run. Rick says pay attention to your gut. B-Tween says coverts are charming. Kate Nadine, this is a good one. Just disagree with them or say no to them and tell them their stuff isn't so great, and you'll smoke them out of the bushes. Just saying. Agnes, let's get off a tutor, okay? Please. I don't know. I'm going to remove the comment. Be nice, Agnes. Margaret says a good person will wait for you to accept them, not try to push it. Dang. Let's have Margaret run the show next week, because she's smarter than me. Marilyn says they start getting too serious right away, and they're always saying, I love you too soon. Jackie says, Mark, I hope and pray that your daughter finds her love for life again and a true calling. She's an amazing artist, but Maggie, call you Maggie. My bad, Maggie. Isn't there a Rod Stewart song about Maggie back in the day? Maggie says, we attract them because we are amazing and they need what we have. Well, that's more than that, Maggie. We attract them because we're wired to be attracted to them. It isn't that they're just attracting us. It's we're attracted to them because we are... We are just wired to like people who are put together like the people who hurt us the most. They overvalue and then they undervalue. Jackie says, peace. So yeah, we should start winding down. Maggie says they will come at you like a train. Wow. We are empaths who are givers. Be selective. Kelly says even her puppy manipulates her, so she has no hope whatsoever. You gonna turn that down, honey bun? I think my wife is gonna make an appearance on the show.
Yeah.
Hey,
In my
there
minion
she
shirt.
is. Hey, get up here, get up here, get up here, get up here. No,
Hi, guys.
sit on my lap.
She gets scoot back there.
All right.
I got my minion shirt on, so blah, blah,
That's
blah,
very,
blah.
very
And
classy.
It is.
Very classy.
It is.
Where in the hell did you get that?
Walmart years ago.
And you've had it ever since. And
Yeah.
you just felt very minion-y tonight, huh?
I did. Well, actually, I'm okay to get paint on it if it happens. So yeah. I heard you in there. I was caulking the window. So
Do you hear what I said about you?
yes.
My life keeps getting better being married to you.
It does. My life keeps getting better being married to you.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. You challenge me to be a better person.
How about that?
Yep.
Sometimes you don't always like to be challenged.
That's true. Not always. Not always.
I was telling the group, my wife wants to be individuated in her marketing approach.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I tried to get her to do it the best way, which is my way.
Mm-hmm.
But she insists on doing it her way, which I respect. That's cool. Jackie says, hey. JC says, hi, honey bun. Is that your new name, honey bun?
I don't know.
Kelly says hi. Soren says hi. Maggie says hi.
Hey, everybody.
Rick says, Mark, get some sleep.
Mark
I'm
does
sure
need to
we
get some
all
sleep.
need it. Lizard!
Lizard!
I
Hey,
just saw
lizards.
you.
Yeah.
She says, I've not been able to be online for a while and I miss you all. We missed you.
Yeah, we miss Lizard too.
Uh,
We're always glad when Lizard gets to join us because Lizard doesn't get to do it very often.
Jackie says, hi, Renda. Mark is so lucky to have you for a wife. Just saying. Oh. Between says, you guys are authentic. Well, I tell you what, we fuss and fight sometimes.
We do.
And act ugly and reactive and childish, don't we?
We do.
Who knew?
We do.
I thought it was going to be all peaches and cream.
Yeah, so did I. But, see, this is the thing, guys, is the universe gives you what you need, right? You're attracted to the person that's going to wound you in the way that you were wounded as kids. And I didn't realize it, but I had some more work to do. So,
Plus, it's stressful to move 3 times in 6 months.
it is very stressful to move 3
Yeah.
times in 6 months and move in and have 2 parties
In a week.
in a week.
With a daughter who's in the hospital
And a sister who's in the hospital.
and a sister who's in the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
This Rick says, oh my God, I've talked to Renda before. Had no idea you two were married. So cool. We hadn't been married that long. We got married on May the 7th.
Yeah.
Maggie says, go, Renda. Sassy Little Frassy says, good night. Good night, Sassy Frassy.
Good night, Sassy Frassy.
I don't know if you need as much sleep as what I do, because last night you were sleeping when I got there, and you were sleeping when I got up and left.
Actually, I was awake and I saw your bag leaving this morning.
You did.
Yeah, and I was like, you didn't even say goodbye.
You was sleeping.
I was tired. I did a lot of lifting yesterday.
Hey, we got married on Jilligan's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So, you guys use the law of attraction in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you believe and have a plan and imagine, grab my Imagine rock over there, honey, the blue one, and hold that up. You got to imagine it. One of put it real close there. There you go. One of the poems that I read to people from Mary Oliver says, "The world is giving itself over to your imagination." And Ren and I, we can imagine big things. I don't think we ever imagined a beautiful place like this, did we? It's way cooler. She's got like every cool lamp in IKEA. She's got in
I
her
don't have all the
office.
cool ones.
You got about 5 of them.
1, 2,
6.
3, 4. 4.
You got 2 of those big ones. You got that little razor blade one, and you got another
Okay, 6.
one. I'm just saying.
Well, you scattered yours throughout, so.
Yeah. So, Kate Nadine says, Rick, your authentic self is the real you. Stop pleasing others and what they expect, and care for yourself, and just be you, the authentic you, no matter how much they stomp and kick. Amen.
Very true.
So, I'm going to go sleep. Everywhere I go, I bring my little tiger. Just because it reminds me of my recovery process. And, Peter Levine says trauma is like there's a tiger in the room. And I've turned something traumatic into a symbol of healing. Are your little minions, are they symbols of your healing?
No.
It's just fun and silly.
It's just fun and silly.
Well, there's room for that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to check out. Thank you for joining us. Next week, you'll have just me from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Because my wife is hanging out with her sister here in Indianapolis. You know what she's doing? She's remodeling the whole place, and I don't get a say. Except my office. You can't touch my office.
I'm not touching your office.
But she and her sister are going to redo the whole house.
Redecorate.
I don't even get a say.
Nope. I didn't get a say in South Carolina. Fair's fair.
I'm not going to whine about it. Well, maybe a little bit.
No, because I think you'll really like it.
Yeah. I don't want to throw the ball. It's beautiful. It's really pretty. So I like shiny things. So thank you for joining us. We will be back. I will be back from South Carolina, where it's a hell of a lot warmer than it is here.
Yeah.
Minus 11? Seriously? That's cold.
It's cold.
All right. Y'all get some sleep. Sending you love. Sending you blessing.
Good night.
If I can hit the button. Night all.